Well, after over a year of simulating, it's getting close to begin PFA Bowl 2. But of course, before I begin, I gotta do my predictions for the game and talk about the highlights and what to expect for the game. And here is the logo I made for PFA Bowl 2. It was a pain in the ass to make because the font would not be pure black, which I tried to do. It was really annoying. So here we go. There is the score bug, well, game bug I mean to say, for PFA Bowl 2 between the Manhattan Greens and the Pittsburgh Blitz. As the Manhattan Greens, they're the National Conference champions, so I had their color in. The Pittsburgh Blitz, they're the Century Conference championship, so I have their color in there as well. Of course, it's going to be in East Rutherford, New Jersey, in MetLife Stadium, which is the home of the Manhattan Greens, but they are going to be the away team. But we all know for a fact this is going to be a home field advantage. Pittsburgh's going to have to be on the road, literally, for this one, because they're going to have a hard time fighting. It'll be on February 4th, 2018, which is almost a year ago. 42 degrees, which is actually warmer than the previous game, but cloudy as well. I think last year's game was clear. And just like last year when I talked about the Omaha Thunder and Chicago 71ers before the PFA Bowl 1, we're going to talk about both teams starting off with their schedule. So here is the Manhattan Greens schedule. As they started off, of course, as you see, they won 4 in a row to get off to a good start. Following their bye, they lost 3 in a row and looked like they were going to begin falling apart. Maybe it was just a short, quick burst before reality set in. But no, they went on to win like 7 in a row or something like that. They fell off a little bit near the end of the season, like going 2-2. But in the end, they finished their franchise best 13-5. They managed to get home field advantage for the first time ever. They made the playoffs and won the National East for the first time ever. And in the division round, they beat the Oakland Majors. And then in the conference championship, they beat the San Antonio Longhorns. So, pretty convincing schedule and pretty convincing stats, too, as I am looking at them right now. They were the 6th best scoring offense. They had the 8th best offense in terms of yards. They were the 19th best rushing offense, which is near the middle of the pack, which isn't really that good. And they had the 6th best passing offense. So offensively, they were really good, although they're still kind of lopsided towards passing. But in defense, it's still a bit suspect, but a lot better than it was last year, where they were the worst like in every single category. They were the 11th best defense in scoring. They had the 13th best yard defense, 16th best run defense, and 17th best pass defense. So around middle of the pack to near pretty good defensively, which is, of course, a major improvement and helped them get improvement of 4-14 to 13-5 and in PFA Bowl 2. So that is how the National Conference champion Manhattan Greens got here. Then we take a look at the Century Conference champion, the Pittsburgh Blitz, who, remember, last year just fell short of making it to PFA Bowl 1 to Chicago in their conference championship. Unfortunately for Pittsburgh, the season started off really bad for them. They were 2-4 after the first 6 games, and eventually they put their rookie quarterback in, Gerald Putman, to replace both Billy White and Cruz Tolbert. They managed to right the ship a bit, however, it still was not going good for them, and after 11 games, they were 5-6 in a pretty weak Century East, but the defense put into high gear, and they ended up going 6-1 the final few weeks of the season. Ended up going 11-7, still barely making it into the playoffs in the weak division. They had to go in the wild card round hosting Oklahoma. They won that in overtime, and thanks to their defense, they managed to upset both Chicago in the division round on the road and then knock off the El Paso Mustangs in the conference championship when they were down 17-0 thanks to their defense. So, the name of this team, the Pittsburgh Blitz, is all defense. Defense is the only reason why they're here. They have the 4th best defense in the league in terms of points. 4th best defense in terms of yards. The number 1 run defense in the league and the 5th best pass defense. So they're elite in every single category. Now, offensively is where they have their biggest problems. They are 27th in scoring. They are 36 in yards in offense. 20th in rushing offense, and 37th in passing offense. Oh my God. remember I mentioned earlier about how the Manhattan Greens were terrible defensively but really good offensively last year? Yeah, the Blitz are very lopsided in this regard. Their defense, I think, played better overall this year than last year, but their offense, oh my goodness, their offense is way worse than last year. And of course, Gerald Putman, the rookie, has not really shown that much progress this season. But hey, the defense in the end and the Blitz, they made it to PFA Bowl 2. So in the end, they got that improvement. Now they just got to try and win it all in 2 weeks. And that is how the 2017 Century Conference champion Pittsburgh Blitz got here. So that is how it's come down to this. The final game, PFA Bowl 2, the Manhattan Greens and the Pittsburgh Blitz. Who will win it? Well, when it's between Manhattan's offense and Pittsburgh's defense, I actually trust Pittsburgh more than I trust Manhattan. Manhattan, I mean, they get a lot of points and yards, but the main concern I have for the Manhattan offensively is they can't run the ball that well, and more importantly, Jamie Norwood, their quarterback, he puts up a lot of touchdowns, but he does not have a really good completion percentage. And that could really hurt them if he's going against a really strong defense and that's going to apply the pressure and force the interceptions and turnovers like they done against Peter Rose, Matthew Smart, and James Fabinovic. So on the defense side, when it's between these two, Pittsburgh I think will win it. But when it's Pittsburgh's offense against Manhattan's defense, then I think it's going to be the other way around, where Manhattan is going to apply the pressure hardcore on the Pittsburgh's pretty bad offense. Gerald Putman has not had a good postseason whatsoever, and it's just not looking good for them whatsoever. So, in the end, this game could really be defensive probably more than anything. Kind of like how last year was for Omaha when they destroyed Chicago. That was more defensive. Now, remember though, Manhattan is hosting the game, so they got home field advantage even though they're technically the away team. And I already calculated the odds. Manhattan is favored to win by 63.9%, which is good, but it's not like an outright blowout victory. So Pittsburgh still has like a 34-something% chance of winning. Now, I would probably say it's going to come down to the defense, so it's going to matter the offense. What offense do you trust more? And of course, the answer is pretty obvious. It's Manhattan. So, I think Manhattan might pull it off. You can't underestimate Pittsburgh though either. But unless Pittsburgh's defense puts up a hell of an effort, unless Pittsburgh's offense does not make mistakes, or Pittsburgh's defense does so much to work like they did against Manhattan last week that it'll overcompensate for their terrible offense, I think Manhattan's going to get it. But you can't underestimate Pittsburgh in the upcoming title game. So that's my prediction for PFA Bowl 2. I predict Manhattan will get it. Manhattan has a 63.9% chance of winning. We'll see you guys hopefully soon for PFA Bowl 2 as we're going to crown a new champion. So see you guys then as the Manhattan Greens and the Pittsburgh Blitz are going to fight it out to become the new champion of the league.